Alrighty, folks. I just want to, whoa, easy, share some gems from the history of English. Trust me, it's short and sweet and awesome. The book is The Story of English, 15 times 15. Awesome little book. But here's the coolest parts from it. I'm treasure hunting in it, and I want to start with the coolest thing. The coolest thing is the name of the guy who put the English alphabet in order to what we have today. Okay, so that it's all ordered based on number. And he did it for numerological purposes. You can read that right there. But his name is this loaded three fest. And you can find love in his name really easily. T-H-E plus the F and the O equals love. And then the rest is 999, B-Y is just totally obvious. So he's the guy God ordained to put the English letters in the order we have. And then what's really cool is when it was originally put together, there were three letters that aren't there that we have today, and by Divine Ordinance, those three letters add to love. So, it's all for love. God leads us to find love in everything that we solve. But that's a really awesome gem, because that happened in the year 1011. 3 ones that add to 3. In the year 1011, the alphabet was put in order, but the cool part is his name. And so yeah, there's a ton of other gems in this book. I'll start with the end and go back. I am just skipping you the biggest ones. All these people that divide by 3. It's just crazy. You know, when King James did the King James Bible, Oxford, Cambridge, and Westminster, the 3 universities, you know, put it together. And there were 54 men, which equals love. But add the names of those 3 universities together, it equals 309, divides by 3. 3 times 103, which is the 27th prime. And of course, his name is James, 24 plus 24. And then who was the leader of the whole project outside of King James? It was John Reynolds. They did the King James version. We'll do the math on John Reynolds. He divides by 3 nicely. And so basically what you do is you're going through the story of the English language and you're solving the obvious names of everyone and all these famous 3s. And like this is an obvious gorgeous fest there. Judge not in pure 3s. Tyndale. There's a famous name in the story of God. Tyndale is love in green plus half a love in blue. That's 81. And so you're just solving all the people involved. And Tyndale was highly influenced by Erasmus. Find love in his name. And then he was also influenced by Martin Luther. All their names divide by 3. I'm just showing you the obvious here. It's all for the glory of the Trinity. And that's how he takes the glory for everything in history. Is using numbers. There's no other way, folks. How else do you think Jesus is going to take the glory for everything in history? Is the name Jesus written on every Ferrari? Actually, yes it is, because the word Ferrari, by Divine Ordinance, screams out 3s to the glory of the Trinity. Okay? And then you can solve the guy who was the big guy behind the printing press. The Gutenberg Bible, of course, divides by 3 in 3 words, but it's William Caxton. Well, I'll do the math on those letters. That adds to 156. Divides by 12 times 13. It's king for the number 3. And so there, he's the chief guy God ordained to be behind the printing press. Interestingly, for my own personal inspiration, King Solomon divides by 3, King David divides by 3, King Derek divides by 3, King Alfred divides by 3. I'm amazed at how God ordained those people's names to have the word king in front of them. And then famous documents in the history of the English language, like the Peterborough Chronicle, divides by 3. And so you're just scooping up the obvious. Like, this is a great book that doesn't go too deep, doesn't go too detailed. It's a great book for me to read, and I just scooped up all the obvious gems. And, for example, why are over 1,000 place names in England end in the word BY? Derby, Rugby, Whitby. Well, because BY equals 27, 3 times 3 times 3. Interestingly, they talk about Old Norse and Old English. Well, English equals Jesus equals Messiah, but Old English divides by 3, and it's 3 points higher than Old Norse. It's too obvious for the Trinity. Those are like the roots of the English language. We say Old English and Old Norse in the history books. It's like, so it's pretty cool. Just digging up where, how, and then like all these different components, famous documents that's in the English language. Big Bertha. I just can't. But that's the coolest part, in my opinion, is the guy that actually put the letters in order, which all this number stuff is based on. Who did God ordain to put the A first and the B second and all that stuff? And so that's cool. Find love in, so that's the biggest gem I want to share with you, is this guy right here. Find love in his name, B-Y-R-H-T-F, Pharaoh. And he's the guy that gave us the numbers that we have for the English alphabet and all those gems in there. Fun stuff. Far better to study the works of God and just follow his story than to create your own stuff. I mean, just by studying what God does and then procreation, obviously, far better to partner with God than to just focus on creating your own thing. Study what God has done. It's more fascinating, more efficient, more rewarding. And then when you talk about what God has done through people and in nature and stuff, it brings him glory. That's my opinion. It's more pleasurable too.